Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to do a video because I recently saw another content creator and he was talking about how narcissists get away with a lot of the affairs and a lot of the cheating and how a lot of this happens right under your nose. And a lot of us sit back and wonder how this could possibly happen because during the love bomb phase and possibly throughout the relationship, especially if it was a short lived one or if you go through a lot of off and on stages with a person, that kind of thing. Um, you'll get to the point where you're going through like that honeymoon phase where everything is going well, everything is going good, and then all of a sudden you start realizing that this person is stepping out on you and all of that kind of stuff. But by the time that you realize it, a lot of times it's too late. You know what I'm saying? It's like the damage is already done. So how do they get away with doing it right under your nose? I watched that video and then he gave a lot of great tips, but I wanted to do this video because I realized that a lot of the stuff that happened in his situations, and this was coming from a self-aware narcissist. So a lot of stuff that he was talking about was things that he did in his own personal situation. And I realized that a lot of the things that he did in his own personal situation were different from some of the things that I experienced in my situation. So I kind of wanted to do this video as a follow up, just to give some more examples on some of the things that, like some of the things that we overlook when we go into relationships and we're looking to, build with somebody and all of that kind of stuff. Some of the things that we may overlook. I think, like I said, I think he did a really good job in his video, but it was just things that I noticed in my situation that were just completely different. And I'm hoping that if you guys have gone through the discard or have gone through narcissistic abuse, please get in the comment box and tell the examples of the ways that you found out they were cheating right under your nose. Like, because it's kind of crazy because you would expect somebody that's spending as much time and they seem so dedicated to you that you can't even see how it's possible. So, like I said, I'm going to kind of go through some of the things that I started to pick up on or I found out in hindsight. Hindsight is 2020. So some of the things that I may have found out in hindsight that kind of explains how she was able to get away with some of the things that she was able to get away with. Number one, I can say that my schedule was a big part of this. I have a full-time job, and at that time, and I still have a thriving business as well. So I was working a lot. I was working like 9, 10 hour days on my full-time job. And then I was coming home and putting a lot of hours into my personal business. So I didn't have a lot of wiggle room in my own schedule anyway. So time blocking was very easy for her to do. It was very easy for her to just come in those moments where I had free time. Like she set her schedule up to where she could be available in those moments that I had a lot of free time. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those times we would, like in the evenings, maybe we would go to dinner. Maybe like she loved to go to like the hookah lounges and stuff like that. So we would go to like hookah lounges, go to dinner, go to different restaurants and things like that. And or a lot of times it was just, being available and convenient to my schedule and, just coming past the house for Netflix and chilling or just whatever, you know what I'm saying, spending time with each other, whether it be home or whether it be, running around and to different spots that she wanted to try out, that kind of thing. So um, a lot of times your own personal schedule will work against you when you're dealing with somebody that wants to take advantage of you. So a lot of times they're seeking out to try to figure out what your schedule is, so they can kind of work their magic or work their situation into what your schedule already is. So that's one of the things that I kind of noticed is that she was always available during the times that I had availability. You know what I'm saying? She knew I was an extremely busy person and I didn't have much availability. So she always made sure that she was available during those times. Um, the second way that I noticed that, one of the things that kind of, this is kind of hindsight. One of the things that I noticed after the fact is, um, she would date outside of her normal or natural demographic. So, and, and this particular topic has like several nuances to it. So, one of the nuances is dating somebody that you, and I know a lot of you guys have probably seen it, where people have dated someone, or you've kind of seen people together and you like, that's an odd couple. Like, how'd y'all get together? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. And this is done for several reasons. This is what I'm kind of picking up on. So she would date completely out of her demographic. And what I mean by that is like, let's say she's a younger woman, but she dates a guy that's extremely, like, way older than her. So from the outside looking in, if somebody sees them together, she always has like a plausible deniability. It's like, I don't deal with that old dude. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when people are saying, "Oh no, I didn't date this person," or "No, I didn't deal with this person," or "No, I didn't do this," or "No, I didn't do that," a lot of times that's just like the cover up. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the throw off. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's something that I kind of picked up on. I found out there was a there was a website, or like a Facebook group or something called Swirl Life, and Swirl Life was like a platform where people was like, black women would get with white guys, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And I she would always kind of present like, oh no, like pro black. I'm about my race. I'm about, this, that, and the third. And she would always kind of hint towards like, oh no, I'm not even attracted to this, or I'm not attracted to that race, or I'm not attracted to this particular thing, or whatever the case may be. And then the whole time behind the scenes, that's the whole time, that's what she was doing behind the scenes. So it's like a throw off. Like, if you're dating somebody that nobody can actually picture you dating, it's a lot easier to get away with dating that person. It's a lot easier to get away with dating a guy that's way older than you, because the general public is like, nah, it can't be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you can't be messing with this dude, especially when I've seen you, especially if they've seen your type. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, and that happens a lot more than people realize. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that out there that date outside of their demographics, just so they won't get caught up inside of their demographics with the people that they're dating that's inside of their demographics. So um, that's something that I picked up on after the fact. It was a lot of it. Like, don't ever think that just because somebody says, "Oh no, that person's not my type," or whatever, or they play that game as if um, they would never date that type of person or whatever. If that person has something to offer that they feel like they can benefit from, or if that person has something to offer that they like, or that they're interested in, or whatever the case may be, they will date that person to get the benefits of whatever it is that they're trying to get. So um, that's, another thing that I just kind of picked up on and noticed inside of my situation, was that, like, she would definitely date outside of the demographic that I would expect her to, and it would be a throw off because, like I said, I would never expect her to be dating this old, like I said, the guy could be like in his 70s or something like that, and you wouldn't think that a woman would even find a man like that attractive, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times, it's not necessarily based on the physicality. You know what I'm saying? It could be other factors at play. So, if you have ever seen somebody like And a lot of times it happens a lot of times even after the discard, you start noticing like, damn, this person has gotten with somebody that's completely not their type. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that happens a lot because, like I said, it's easier to get away with because you're nobody would expect you to be actually dating that person. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would actually expect you to be involved with that person. Um, and unfortunately, there's also like that particular um, that particular topic, that particular area of how they get away with cheating also could stem into your family, your friends, your loved ones, things like that. So that's why it's like extremely dangerous to even get involved with this type of situation because a lot of times they'll be getting people that are off limits. You know what I'm saying? Like people that you wouldn't think that you wouldn't think they would be involved in also includes people that are kind of off limits. They would, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen them date brothers, I've seen them date cousins because they don't think that the other brother will tell the other brother, you know what I'm saying? Or like this person has something to lose. If they tell the other person, then that'll mess their relationship up. So I can get away with, moving messy and doing what I'm doing. Or even friends, you know what I'm saying? Like if you get a lot of women that date best friends or even guys that date friends and all of that kind of stuff, like, oh, I'll just sleep with his man or I'll just sleep with her girl, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. And just sometimes it's to get back at the other person, sometimes it's just to feed their own ego or whatever the case may be. But those are some of the things that I kind of ran into. I could probably go on for another hour about this, but I just wanted to do this video because, like I said, I have gone through this personally, and it's easier than you think to get away with it, even if they're under your nose all the time. And I was actually I actually had to experience this firsthand because I'm looking like, damn, I mean, I'm looking at my own personal schedule and I'm like, I don't have the time to be doing X, Y, and Z. I'm at work, I'm doing this. I'm, running the business, I'm doing this and that. And then I spend the time that I have with you, and so I'm like, damn, how does this person even have the time to move like that? But trust me, they have the time. They have the opportunities around them, and they make the opportunities around them. So, like I said, it's a dating out of your demographic. That's one of them. That's a major one. I kind of wanted to tap into that one the most because a lot of people get bamboozled by that one. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people feel like their person that they're dealing with have a type and they will think that their type looks more closely to what they look like, or they would think that, oh, well, I'm this person's type, they told me that I was their type, and then you realize that they're involved with somebody that's completely opposite than you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in shape, you're working out, you're a muscle head, this, that, and the third, whatever, and then you look on the flip side and they cheating with somebody that's overweight, obese, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you wouldn't even think that they were even dealing with that type of person. So, like I said, man, y'all please jump in the comment box and let me know some of the ways that you um, were cheated on right under your nose and didn't even realize it was happening. These people have extremely mastered the craft of just being deceptive. You know what I'm saying? So it happens to all of us, man. I know a lot of you guys have been through it. So please, if y'all can, just jump in the comment box and just let me know some of the ways that you guys have experienced the same thing and how you found out that it happened. And like I say, man, I'm open. I'm hoping to get the platform going a little bit more. I've experienced a change in my personal schedule with being brought back to work and everything. As far as after COVID, I was brought back, full time in office, and so now that kind of limits my time that I have to share with you guys. But I am looking to tap in with you guys more. I'm looking to have some of you guys come on the channel and talk about some of the things that you have experienced in narcissistic abuse. I don't want this channel to just be about me regurgitating information to you guys. Please get involved. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Love y'all.